Hi, I'm Todd Levent. I'm your District 3 Commissioner of Forsyth County. I have been serving the people for 3 years and approximately 5 months. I have served the people and not politicians and not other special interest groups. This is imperative because there's a separation for me. An elected official is a person that serves the people. A politician will serve other politicians and special interest groups. When you're electing somebody, it's very important that you seek somebody that's a giver and not a taker. A giver serves the people. A taker gets in sometimes for their own selfish reasons. When I got into office, I realized that the general fund had slipped from $40 million down to $13 million around the year 2009. My first day in office was January 1st, 2011. This is also an important date because it marks all of the zonings that we're seeing today that are being built and overcrowding our schools and overcrowding our roads. They were done between the year 2000 and 2009. There's nothing that I have been involved in that I have voted on that I haven't substantially reduced the application's original density, which they asked for. You will find that anything that I may have voted on has not even been built today to the point that somebody lives in the home, has produced a car, or somebody in our schools. It will happen, but it was done with such sensible zonings and lower density that it won't have the impact of some of the past zonings have. I live here, I raised my family here, my children go to school here. We moved here approximately 24 years ago. It was country, the roads were empty, the schools weren't even built, which my children are attending today. I've seen the growth, I've seen the change that you all are feeling. I understand it. It is my job to make sense of all zonings and not to let them impact your lives and cause damage to your quality of life. I understand that. I have voted against apartments more often than any other commissioner on the board today, and I will continue to do so. Touching on fiscal responsibility, that budget, which I told you depleted down to $13 million, has now reached well over $40 million. We have achieved a AAA bond rating and stable from Moody's. This has allowed us to refinance multiple water sewer bonds that will save the county over $20 million in interest carry alone. Further, it has been my job to serve you, and unfortunately, it may have upset the sheriff when I voted against his budget. I will further explain that when he asked for 134 deputies to be added to his force, I couldn't find the justification, and I used my ex-public safety background to understand whether he needed those or not. The research I did as I traveled around the state when the jail courthouse was being built to how many additional employees it would take to man these positions, I still couldn't find the justification. Further, the sheriff had 48 positions still available and not filled. I merely made the suggestion at the Board of Commissioners meeting that we allow the sheriff to fill those positions first. Then we look at whether or not he needs any additional positions. I was outvoted, but I felt I did the right thing supporting the people on this one. I don't think the same thing will happen if David Hull is elected. They have been announced publicly now that David Hull is the sheriff's best friend, and that concerns me. It should also concern you. Further, I'd like to speak to you about the active homeowner groups in our community. They have been watching the local politics now for a very, very long time. They watch the votes that commissioners take. They support the commissioners that vote on their behalf. There are multiple groups out there now come together and created the Homeowners Coalition. Very strong, very large groups. They support me, or they have endorsed me. None of them have done this for Mr. Hull. They watch my voting record, and they recognize that I am there for the people, not for special interest groups, not for other elected officials, and what they wish for me to do. I'm proud to serve the people. I will stand strong for the people. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. I humbly ask for your vote May 20th Thank you.